Hello, hello. Happy Monday. I hope your week is off to an incredible start. And today we're going to be talking about really why most people never hit their goals. They never get to experience them. They never get to have that satisfaction. They never get to see their life the way that they envisioned it in their mind. And for me, that's got to be the most heartbreaking thing in life. And it's one of the reasons why I do what I do, why I show up, why I'm so passionate about it, because ultimately we get to design our life. We get to choose that. We have that power, and it's a beautiful power to have. It's a beautiful thing that we get to do, but it only happens when we take that personal responsibility, when we act on those dreams. And I get it, because a lot of us, we go through life where we don't necessarily have the support, where we're told, get your head out of the clouds, be practical, like all of these things that get drilled into us. And it's not that, you need to blame your parents or society or, your religion or whatever it is that taught you that, because this has just been passed down generation after generation. It's survival mind. And yes, at one point it was very helpful for the human race, but at this point in time in particular, we need to let go of all of that old crap, because ultimately you can never be free. You can never be free to be who you truly are when you are living by all of these old guidelines that really do not apply to your life unless you let them. And that is where we run into trouble. That's where we allow ourselves to get caught up in the mundane things of life, paying bills and all of these like very responsible adult things that rob us of our joy. And slowly that little light, that little spark in your heart that is like, oh my God, like I want to do this or I want to do that. When you're a kid and you're like, I want to be an astronaut or I want to be an actor or whatever it is that like really excited you. We wanted that thing. And it was just like, I can be whatever I want to be. And then life kind of beat you down. Life told you to go for something else, to think in a different way. And it's not your fault that happened, but it is your responsibility to know that you can be, do, and have anything you desire, but it starts with you. You are actually the only roadblock. You are the one who starts the change. That's what it is. You're the chain reaction. It all happens in you. So we have to acknowledge that. And one of the things that I see all the time, I see this in entrepreneurs, I see this in people who are going for, their fitness goals. I see it in all these things where we allow life to get in the way. It's really easy to do this. It's really detrimental because we keep going, I'm too busy right now. Things are too busy. I'll do this when blank. I'll do this when things slow down. I'll do this when, my kids graduate from college, and whatever it is. There's always some kind of reason why you can't do it right now in this moment. And the problem is that life doesn't slow down. It speeds up. And this is, not just because we live in a technological age where things are going like this. That's part of it, of course. But what happens in the human experience is very fascinating. When you're a kid and, like a really young kid in school, and from the time you get there at like 9 in the morning or 8:30, whenever school started for you, to lunchtime, it was an eternity. It felt like it would never come. You were like, oh my God, I can't stand this anymore. Like that 3-hour span was an eternity. And now in your life, you wake up, you blink, and it's noon, and you blink again, and it's nighttime, and then you blink again, and you're asleep. Life happens like that as you age. Why does that happen? Well, the interesting thing is, if you think about your life as this piece of paper, like let's say your entire life, this is your life, this whole piece of paper. Well, when you're a kid, when you're born, you are just a little dot. I don't even know if you can see it. You're like a little dot, and that's all you can see, because that's all the perspective you have. You haven't experienced anything yet. You're just there, present in the moment. And as you're aging, you have memories. So, by the time you're 5 or something like that, you're seeing about that much of your life. That's how much you have. And as you continue to age, let's say you're in your 30s or 40s, you've got about that much perspective of your life. And then time seems to be speeding up. And it's not because time is speeding up, because time is actually the big illusion, but your perspective has changed, because now you have all of these memories of years and years and years and years and years of experiences, and you have a wider scope of your entire existence. So as you age, it feels like it's going faster. So this idea that things are going to slow down is bullshit. It's just going to feel like it's going faster and faster and faster with every year that passes. So we really have to stop holding on to these excuses, these ideas that, oh, at some point I'm going to have the time. At some point I'm going to have nothing going on and I can finally tackle that goal, that dream. And that will never happen. And this is the biggest lie that we tell ourselves. And we have to stop doing that, because you will get to the end of your life and go, fuck, I didn't do it. And that, for me, that breaks my heart more than anything else, to think of people in that situation. That happens every single day. There are people right now, this second, as you're watching this video, who are on their deathbed with a slew of regrets because they never went after it. We never regret the things that we went after. We really don't. Like, even if it didn't work out, it's like, well, I tried. And you know what? It either wasn't for you or it wasn't the right time or whatever the case may be, like, but that's okay. But when you didn't do it, you don't know. And that's really heartbreaking. We only really learn when we get, our hands into it and understand, like, oh, okay, like, I like this or I don't like this. This is interesting. I need to pivot. Like, that's how we learn in life. Like, that's how we truly learn and grow. And we don't always do that. We tend to hold ourselves back because fear gets in the way. And we're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. Or what if I fail? What if I succeed? And we go through this whole tangent in our heads. But the truth is, change only happens when we change. And it doesn't happen tomorrow. It happens today. Today is all that matters. Today is all that really exists. Tomorrow never comes, because tomorrow is in the future. And you can't live in the future. You can only live in today. Now, of course, there are times in life where, let's face it, shit hits the fan. Like, let's say you had a death in the family. Yeah, sometimes you have to drop everything and have your focus completely on something else. That's okay, obviously. But what I'm saying is that 99% of the time in our lives, most of the time, we're actually just not doing it. And that's a whole other story. That's when we just keep making up these excuses of why we can't show up and do what we want to do. And I know it feels like you don't have enough time, or maybe you feel like you don't have enough experience or money or whatever it is to do the thing you want to do. But there's always a first step you can take. There's always something you can do to get on that road, to get on that journey, to get in motion, because you're not supposed to know the whole way it's going to unfold. If you did, you would already be living your dream. You would already be experiencing it. You don't know yet. And this is why we have to start moving in that direction and allow things to present themselves to us. This is where you meet somebody, or where you learn something, or, you get the thing unfold for you. And you don't get to know what it is until you get on that road, period. So I know it's very intimidating to do that, because we like a certain sense of certainty. We want to know that if I do X and Y, I'll get Z. But maybe if you do X and Y, you'll get B, and you'll be like, what the fuck was that? I didn't even expect this thing. But that's okay, because now you've learned, and then you can try something else. So this is how we learn and adapt and mold ourselves. And we have to start to move in that direction. So the biggest thing I can tell you is that moving towards your goals and making your dreams a reality, it's in the day-to-day steps. I've been talking about this a lot lately. It is in your habits. This is where everything is formed. This is how you write the book. This is how you manifest the house. This is how you build your business. Like, everything, it all comes down to the day-to-day. That doesn't mean big leaps. That's what we tend to psych ourselves out. Like, I don't have time to do that. Well, of course, you probably don't have time to spend 8 hours a day chasing your dream. But you can probably carve out 30 minutes. You can probably set your alarm clock a little bit earlier. You can probably find cracks in the day where, you know what, instead of scrolling on Facebook, I'm going to work on the thing that's really fucking important to me. Instead of watching Netflix, I'm going to do the thing that sets my soul on fire. These are the things we do. And that doesn't mean you never get to scroll on Facebook again, or never get to watch the show you want to watch. It means you take a little bit of that time and you use it for what is really important in your heart and your soul. That's what it's about. It's about prioritizing it. And this does mean pushing through fear, because one of the reasons that you haven't started on it yet, or that you haven't been consistent with it yet, is fear. We're afraid. We're afraid of anything we haven't experienced before. It is programmed into us to be afraid, because the unknown equals death to our old school mind, the way that the brain works. It's trying to protect us. So what we have to do is acknowledge that fear and act in spite of it, to move forward and go, you know what? It's intimidating. It's uncomfortable. And it's like, ugh, but I'm going to fucking do it anyway. Because my dreams, they're worth it. They're worth pushing through my fear. They're worth me moving through it. And just like anything in life, after you face the fear, you go, what the fuck was I so scared of? That's the thing that's really interesting. Like, I want you to think back to when you were a kid and you were learning to ride a bike. You know, when you had the little training wheels on and you finally got to the point where your parents are like, okay, we're taking the training wheels off. And it's like, oh, that's scary. Like, yeah, it looks like the kids are having fun on the 2 wheels, but I don't know if I can do that. That was a little scary. And then, you know, one of your parents is like, it's okay, I'll hold on to the seat and I'll be there with you and we're going to do it. And so you finally agree to it and they take them off. And then you're like, don't let go, don't let go, don't let go. And they're like, okay. And then suddenly they're like, okay, but I am going to let go now. And you're like, no, don't do it. Oh my God, I'm going to crash. But they let go. And then all of a sudden you realize, hey, I can do this. And I've got more control of my bike now. And this feels really good. And oh my God, now I'm riding like a big kid. And then it's all the joy. It's all the excitement. It's that brief little bit of pushing through fear to get to the joy, to get to the achievement. That's what it's all about. And this is for everything that you ever do in your life. And it's a hard thing because we want that fear to go away. We want to wait until it goes away, but it doesn't. Fear does not go away until you face it, until you go, okay, I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway. And that could be, for you, it could be whatever that goal is. Maybe it's public speaking. Maybe you're like, I have this mission and this gift to give the world, but I'm terrified of speaking to crowds. You got to get out there and speaking to crowds. Maybe the first thing you do is you hop on a Facebook Live and you face that fear by talking to, you know, a smaller group of people. Maybe you are like, I want to be an author, but I don't know how to publish a book. Cool. You start to research how to do that. You start writing the book and you look into how to make it happen. You do the things that scare you until you realize this isn't actually that scary. And then it gets easier to take more risks because you start to train yourself that, hey, it's actually kind of a rush. It's actually kind of exciting to do this. I mean, yeah, it's still scary, but fear and excitement, they're in that same vein. They're delicious. They're like, oh my God, they bring you to life. So we want to get used to that. We want to get used to it. It's almost like the runner's high, but it's kind of like the fear high. You get used to it and you start to embrace it. And then it becomes your way of being. And you're like, oh my God, my life has never felt so powerful. I've never felt like I could do all of these things before. And then you start to realize that you're absolutely limitless, that you can do anything you set your mind to because you are a warrior. You're somebody who pushes through fear. You're somebody who shows up in spite of how uncomfortable it is, or if it's expensive, or if it's time consuming. Like you suddenly are like, it doesn't matter. If I decide to do something, I see that fucker through. No matter what, you stop listening to your excuses. And this is how you get to be part of that 1% of the world that sees the achievement, that gets the success, that has the financial freedom. You create that life by facing the fear, by establishing the daily habits that will lead you to be that person. That's what it's about. And that is powerful. So you guys know I've been talking about it all week. Today, we are starting the 1-year Success Habit Incubator. And it is fucking incredible. We have the best people in here. Like, you guys have seen their names popping up all over the past week. Like, we have the most dedicated, driven people. Part of success is surrounding yourself with other people who are just fucking going for it. So this is it. Like, this is the thing you want to get into. If you're that person who's been like, man, I've got these big dreams and big goals and I want to do it and I want to follow my heart, and like the fear's gotten in the way, or you feel like you've been too busy, or you feel like something's been in the way, this is what you want to jump into, because we're going to be busting through that. We're going to have clarity on where you're going. We're going to figure out in the past what's held you back. What's been the thing that got in the way when you attempted to get that going? And then we're going to deconstruct it. We are going to take all of those limiting beliefs, and in a physiological way, we're going to get them out of your body. We're going to get you excited and driven and like pushing forward for those goals without the roadblocks. We're also going to show you how to reverse engineer any goal so that you can achieve it, so that you understand how you move forward towards it instead of overthinking it and getting stuck in overwhelm. So you're going to have all of that at your disposal. You're also going to have myself and my incredible business partner, Tony Babcock, all year, where you can reach out to us. we're going to be there in a coaching capacity where you can ask us for advice, because between the two of us, we have accomplished a lot in our lives, between public speaking for major companies, between incredible fitness goals and achieving them, like getting to having like multiple incredible businesses. Like, we have done it and we can show you how to do it. So when you get stuck on like the how, we're here to help you with that next step. So we're going to be walking you through how to do that. This is it. Like, this is the accountability container with the support and the mentorship that you have been looking for to finally make it happen. Like, this is not a course, guys. This isn't just like, come with your notebook and sit down and let's go through this stuff, which, don't get me wrong, learning is really important. I encourage you to, read the books and take the courses, but action is where the magic happens. Action is where we change our lives. That is what you need to jump into. Action. It's the only way forward. You can't think your dream into reality. I know, like, everybody out here on the internet's like, just manifest it. And guys, you guys know I'm the manifesting queen. Like, come on now. But that's not how manifesting works. At first, you have the idea, you have the vision, and then you get into action to bridge it into the physical world. Action is a necessary component. You cannot just sit there on your ass and hope that it falls in your lap. It won't. We have to get into action to make it happen, to bring it into our world. So this is where it's happening. It is only $100 a month to jump into this. It is a powerful fucking container. So you want to get your ass in there. Send me a message, send Tony a message. We're here to talk to you. Like I said, we're starting today. We will have open enrollment, but be warned right now, the price will be changing. Like, the fact that you get to work with us for $100 a month is insane. If you guys work with me one-on-one for a year, it's $75,000. If you worked 2-to-1 with Tony and me for the year, it will be $120,000. So you guys are basically getting to work with both of us for a year for, what is that, like 1%. 1% of what we normally charge. That's insane. So you want to get your ass in there to have this support, this level of support to hit those goals. This is it. This is like the penultimate thing that we've been cooking up behind the scenes for a really long time. So get your ass in there. We want to see you in there. We want to see you hitting those goals. We want to see you to, like, on this day in 2023, go, holy fuck, this was the best year of my life. That's what we have for you. So get in touch, get registered for that. I'll post the link below as soon as I hop off here. Have an amazing day. And whatever you do when you walk away from this video, I don't care who you are or what your plan is, whatever it is, pick one of those dreams that has been on your heart for years and go for it. Take that first step, make it happen, prioritize it. It's the only way it's going to come into your life. Prioritize it, because your life is too short to not go after it. Go after it. Take the risk. It's worth it. It pays off. All right. I love you guys. We'll talk soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye.